Hello everyone, JCarmine960 here, coming to you out of the weekend to bring you another installment of the card reviews. Looks like there were 19 added over the weekend. I do apologize, I'm going to do this just in one video. We were doing a ton of stuff in our house to try to get ready to go sell. So I've been pretty busy the past couple of days. But that aside, we're back. There are some awesome cards, some really new mechanics and stuff, so we got a lot to talk about. Again, this one's going to be a little bit longer, so I do apologize in advance, but I'm going to try my best to not take up too much time on each card. So let's get right into it. Archwitch or Archwitch Willow, legendary for Warlock. Very powerful effect. Battlecry, summon a random demon from your hand and deck. So obviously a 9-mana card with that kind of summon 2, and you can tutor it a little bit. You can put your own demons in your deck or even shuffle them. And we've seen Warlock cards that are summon demons, very powerful, straight from the hand using like the Skull. At the same time, straight from your deck using like Darkest Hour, stuff like that. So we know that effect can be very, very strong. So look for this card in any sort of like a big demon control style Warlock. Look for this card to see some play, because 9 mana 7/7 is also not the greatest stat line, but it's not as weak as like Sarth Ravar, which is a 9 mana 5/5. So okay stats for 9. So you put it down, you feel comfy, but yeah, pretty cool effect. That pretty strong card. Star Student Stelina is a Demon Hunter legendary outcast. So this whole thing is just vanilla 4 mana 4/3 unless it's an outcast with an insanely strong ability. Look at 3 cards in your opponent's hand, shuffle one of them into their deck. So this does more than just what it says. First of all, combo breaker. Demon Hunter's getting a lot of combo control style cards, which is really cool. Secondly, you get to look at 3 real cards in your opponent's hand. So like Madame Lazul, who allows you to see what they have, and then you get one. Sometimes the information alone is worth the investment, let alone this one. You get to just go shuffle that card right back into their deck. So you can see them planning around some sort of combo, a really big piece of their puzzle. You can just put the puzzle piece back in their deck. If that control Demon Hunter, which it looks like there's a lot of really good control Demon Hunter cards, if that control Demon Hunter goes live and people really like it and it's strong, this is 1000% going to be a crafted card put into every single one of those decks. Mage Hunter, very cool card. 3 mana 2/3 with Rush. This is for Demon Hunter as well. Whenever this attacks a minion, silence it. So you can play any sort of a minion, and as long as it's not a taunt, or protected by a taunt, I should say, this will silence it, which is kind of cool. So Rush, silence. Pretty cool effect. This is very strong. I don't think it's super overpowered. You can't just target it. You do have to use this minion for it. However, it is pretty awesome. So silence effects are should always be viewed differently as one of those things that can be on the spectrum for anything that could be silence, an awesome death rattle effect, an awesome spell buff on a minion, any sort of reborn, stuff like that. This card can counter. It's pretty strong. 3 mana 2/3 Rush isn't the greatest, but that silence effect is kind of cool. Groundskeeper. This is a pretty cool card. I like to see Druid and Shaman get it. It is it's a non-tribed minion, so it's not beast or anything, but 4 mana 4/5 with taunt is already good. You can run this in a deck and be happy with 4 mana 4/5. Strong stat line. Even Shield of Galakron is a 5 mana 4/5. It invokes, but sometimes that 4 mana 4/5 is just really good, even at 5 mana. So 4 mana comes down a little faster. Pretty cool. But if you're holding a spell that costs 5 or more, restore 5 health. Pretty cool little effect. I don't think you're going to be seeing this minion in anything but like a big spell deck. It's just not. The stats are good. The effect is cool if you can get it off, but it's not anything that's game breaking or, really good unless you have some sort of restore health synergies. Traelian the Tenured. Let's talk about this guy real fast. 8 mana, legendary for Paladin. Rush. Whenever this attacks, attacks a minion, set the defender's attack and health to 3. That is quite the effect. really awesome. Basically, you're saying, whoever you are, I'm attacking you, and I'm going to set you to 3/3. Super effective. Like, that alone, in any sort of control deck that Paladin's going to be running, you're going to see this guy. He is a craftable, again, if the meta is kind of a little bit of a slower meta, this guy is going to be crafted for sure if you're playing a Paladin deck. That effect is so good. Anything above a 3/3, this guy can target. You got big, evasive Draconid, 7/7. Sorry, it's a 3/3 now. Like, this thing is super good. Gift of Luminance. It is a dual class card, Paladin Priest. Give a minion Divine Shield, then summon a 1/1 copy of it. Very good effect, especially if you can find a special legendary, maybe that spell burst one that does the 4/2 spell burst, get a shield type of a minion. I mean, the spell burst could be done already, but you can give it another Divine Shield, right, for that 4 attack. So anything that can summon a 1/1 copy of it is where you start thinking Death Rattle, special board effects, anything like that. So look for this card to see some play. It would be a little more guaranteed if it was a 2 mana, or if it gave it a 1/1, like +1/+1. But yeah, summoning a 1/1 copy is always a powerful effect. That's when you can start getting your brain into combo mode. What death rattles can I do? What board effects, end of turn effects, stuff like that. So that's what you want to look for when you're looking at a card like this. Adorable Infestation. This is a Druid Hunter dual class card, so kind of like that legendary, the very first legendary dual class they showed. Give a minion +1/+1 for 1 mana, already good. Summon a 1/1, very good, and add a 1/1 to your hand. So for 1 mana, this is incredibly valuable. Any sort of, I would even say like a control style deck as well is going to want to run something like this. It's just good value, right? So it would be hard to kind of say I want removal instead of this, but if you're going hard in the face, like you're doing like a face hunter deck, yeah, this thing's guaranteed card. You're going to see it in every single face hunter deck. So just trying to slot it into just for pure value, or even a cheap spell for like a Kel'Thas deck like this, for 1 mana, this does a lot. So look for this to be used quite a bit. Lab Partner. This is a mage, common, 1 mana, 1/3, so good standard mage or a standard 1 mana stats. Spell damage +1, so really good, like underwhelmingly good, if that makes sense. Like, you don't expect this to be as good as it is, but how many times do you have just cheap spells that you can just start slinging left and right? You got arcane missiles, or even some discounted fireballs if you discount them somehow in your deck using like Incanter's Flow, stuff like that. Like, this is a really powerful effect for it to be on a card that cost 1. Very good. I'm just thinking of like, even the like double fireball combo. You just took a 12 damage combo and just turned it into 14. Like, if you got those fireballs discounted at all, or even like a free frostbolt to throw in over the top of that, it's 18 damage for 9 mana. Pretty good. This card might definitely see some play. Yeah, I'm going to see this in some few decks, definitely. Secret Passage. So this is a rogue epic spell. Replace your hand with 5 cards. So it doesn't say replace 5 cards in your hand. You will shuffle your entire hand into your deck, take 5 out. Yeah, so yeah, you replace your hand with 5 cards from your deck, swap back next turn. So put your deck in, take out 5 cards, play as you wish, and then next turn you get your entire previous deck back. Now, are you going to also draw one after that? I would assume so, because this is a special effect, so like the draw will not be tied to the effect, if that makes sense. So you'll get your deck back, and then you'll draw one. I mean, really nice if you're trying to dig for, anything that is going to happen when you draw a card, or if you're just looking for an actual specific card. You're looking for removal or a legendary or something to do versus just having a bad hand. I think this definitely can do something like that. So as an epic, I don't know if you're going to want to craft it unless it's something that's so game breaking where it's like, oh yeah, I shuffle and draw 5, and every time I draw I get a chance at, you know, like a shadow, whatever the shadow mirrors are, where you like copy the minion, put it in your deck. Also, you draw 5, so you can kind of do some at the end of the game sort of combos with it as well. So yeah, this could definitely see some play. It's a pretty cool effect. I like to see that. It's pretty neat. Rune Carvings. This card seems strong, not game-breakingly strong, but it seems pretty strong. 6 mana, 8/8, split up into 4 2/2s. So you summon 4 2/2s, or if you want to overload, you can give them all rush. I mean, that just sounds good, right? 4 2/2s seems really good. Especially like the one Force of Nature or whatever that one was. It's a 6 mana summon 3 2/2s, right? So this just 1 extra 2/2 on top of it, or 2 mana less than Forest Aid. Like I think this is a pretty strong card. That's a dual class Druid and Shaman, so it'll be cool. It is important to note too, for some more Shaman synergies, it does say they are treant totems. So you could do this and then do the buff them with damage, you know, the give them all health, give them all damage, totem style deck that you run with the card. So that, yeah, I mean, it's an epic, but this is definitely a card you're going to want to try to play around a little bit. Get prepared to see this in both Druid and Shaman decks. It's a pretty strong effect and costs pretty good too. Devout Pupil seems super strong. Let's talk about this one. Dual class Paladin Priest, 6 mana 4/5 with the effect. Cost 1 for each spell you've cast on friendly characters this game. Characters, very important. Face also counts. So if you renew your face as a priest, that definitely counts. But on top of all that, not only does it cost less, blah blah blah, it's taunt and divine shield. That just seems so good. Taunt Divine Shields I've always seen play every expansion since the dawn of Hearthstone. Tyrion, Taunt Divine Shield, Annoyaltrons, Taunt Divine Shield. You're looking at Righteous Protector, Taunt Divine Shield. So the whole cost spectrum, low cost ones to high cost ones, Taunt Divine Shield is always one of those. It just works, right? Just very good synergy having those two together. Put it on a minion that you can discount. I mean, even turn 4 to cast 2 spells on some friendly characters isn't out of the realm of possibility. So even this being a 4 mana 4/5 Taunt Divine Shield, I mean, even a 5 mana 4/5 Taunt Divine Shield is still really good cost. So yeah, all you have to do is cost 1 spell, and this thing's perfectly stat and priced. Everything after that is just value, right? So see this in almost every single Paladin and Priest deck. It is really strong. Merrill Slicer. Okay, so this is where we get into the realm of weird with the Demon Hunter and Warlocks. They have a new thing called Soul Fragments. So Merrill Slicer here is Battlecry, shuffle 2 Soul Fragments into your deck. And Soul Fragments do 2 things. 1, if you draw them, they restore 2 health to your hero and draw you a card. So it's just like you draw it and it just heals you for 2, and then you get a card to replace it. But there are cards that can interact with the souls in your deck. So as you have soul fragments in your deck, you do have the ability to interact with them using other cards. And we're going to get to those here soon. So let's talk about Merrill Slicer. This is true silver champion, but the healing isn't instant. That's it. 4 mana 4/2, true silver champion. Shuffle 2 soul fragments into your deck that heal you for 2 health whenever you draw them. Just like True Silver Champion, which is a phenomenal weapon and has been played every expansion. So, yeah, see this weapon to get played. It's definitely really good cost as well, because they kind of need that after the Umberwings and before the Warglaves. There's a huge gap in weapon, so this definitely fills that gap. You're going to see Merrill Slicer all the time, and it's common. So good. Shadowlight Scholar. This is a Warlock, so this is kind of one of the Soul Fragment interactions. First of all, 3 mana 3/4. Even if you don't have Soul Fragments in your deck, it's just a really good stat, right? 3 mana 3/4, you're looking at Spider Tank. Play this. If you have a Soul Fragment, you can also choose to deal 3 damage. Very strong effect. So look for this guy to be played. Yeah, Warlock, you could use this in an aggro because it does just say 3. So even if you have Soul Fragments in your deck and you're running a zoo, this is 3 mana Battle Cry, deal 3 damage to your opponent's face. Easy. So this will get played. And it's great stats. Soul Shard Lapidary. This is a very strong card. So Demon Hunters have always, since, I say as always, like it's been for years, since Demon Hunters have come around, they've always been, use my health to leverage board control and damage, right? So on paper, 5 mana, 5/5. There's so many of those in the game. It's a good stat line. But this one has such a good effect. Destroy a soul fragment, so get rid of that 2 healing, to give your hero +5 attack this turn. Wow, like, this seems so good. And the first things I thought of when I saw this card, just deal 5 damage. It's just strong effect, right? You have the ability to punch your opponent in the face for 5. You have the ability to clear one of these 5 health taunts that we've seen on the game so far that they've been revealing, or even, you know, cycle a hero power in there and take care of some of those 2/6s that are out there. But that's just on the surface. I start thinking then, what if you do have War Glaze and you play this? That's 8 damage and you can attack the minions and clear. I mean, that alone is really strong. Or what if you kind of Zephyrs for Wind Fury weapon, right? You get the Doom Hammer. That's 7 damage and 2 attacks, not including Twin Slice, not including your hero power or anything. So there's some really good things that you could do with this. I mean, even if you have the Doom Hammer already at 2 attack, you play 2 of these and you still got Shards in your deck, that's 12 times 2 is 24 damage. Just boom, boom, 24 damage. LOL. Just win, right? So this card, you're going to see a lot of these in Demon Hunter decks, in aggro Demon Hunter decks, or even a control style deck that has a lot of self-healing. You can see this to be leveraged into either closing out a game or even just clearing out some minions. Very strong. Shard Shatter Mystic. Destroy a soul fragment in your deck to deal 3 damage to all other minions. So you're looking at, again, a 3 mana board clear, which is really strong. 3 damage to all minions. So the difference between this being really good, 3 mana, deal 3 damage to all other minions, so it doesn't kill itself, versus that spell, that 7 mana, deal 3 to all minions, is speed, timing. You're going to see a lot more minions with 3 or less health on turn 3 or 4 versus turn 7, 8, 9, right? So that's kind of where that effect comes into play. Yeah, destroy a soul fragment, deal 3 damage to all other minions. Just really strong board control. Just plain and simple. School Spirits. It's a spell. Very good one, by the way. 3 mana, deal 2 damage to all minions. So there's your AoE style deck. Instead of breaking a soul out of the Demon Hunter deck, you're adding 2 of them from the Warlock deck. So you're looking at just a really strong board clear with a little sustain and more deck interactiveness on top of it. If you're running anything that uses soul fragments, yeah, you're going to run this, plain and simple. I mean, there's a lot of 2 health stuff right now in the meta. This is definitely a very strong pick for any Warlock class that's trying to shuffle soul fragments. Soul Shear. So this is a dual class card for Demon Hunter and Warlock. 2 mana, deal 3. Already super good. It's very common as well, but this is only to a minion, and then you shuffle 2 soul fragments in your deck. So yeah, you're going to run this. Even if you're playing kind of an aggro-y soul style Warlock deck or Demon Hunter deck, you're going to run these, because deal 3 damage to a minion, so you think like instant like Frostbolt for 2 mana, deal 3, but to get 2 of those fragments in there, heal 4 later, deal 10 damage later, you know, using the ones that give your hero that attack. Yeah, it's just a good card. It's a very good card. You're going to see it in any soul sort of deck. And then you're going to see this as well. Sociologist Militia. They try to make these hard. So instead of sociologist, it's sociologist Militia. Anyway, tongue twister aside, 7 mana 5/5, so the stats aren't the greatest, but for each soul fragment in your deck, summon a 3/3 soul with rush. So think Blastmaster, but for your own deck. So it's easier to control kind of what goes in there. And yeah, I mean, 3/3s with rush, I mean, look, just pure value. 7 mana with 1 soul is 8/8 worth of stats, of which 3/3 are already front loaded for damage. So 7 mana 8/8, it's good stats, right? 7 mana 10/10 if you have 2 of those souls in there, or sorry, 11/11 if you have 2 of those souls in there, already super good. So 2 souls is the overpowered part of this. Anything past that is just raw value. Yes, there are some AoEs for 3 damage, but this is really strong, and it's important to note that it's just kind of like the bombs. For each soul fragment in your deck, you just summon it. You don't destroy the souls, which a lot of the other soul interacting cards are. You do not destroy them. It's just merely a soul check. How many souls do I have? I'm summoning a 3/3 for each one. Very strong. Any deck that's running a soul is running this card 100%. Doesn't matter if you're aggro or control or anything. 7 mana 5/5 with summon some 3/3s is definitely worth it. And then the last one here, Instructor Fireheart, which is an interesting choice for Shaman class, but 3 mana 3/3, so they've done some 3 mana 3/3s in the past. The Lightning Strikes Twice chick, I can't remember her name, but the one that the next spell you cast this turn is twice. She was a 3 mana 3/3. So this one, Instructor Fireheart, Battlecry, discover a spell that costs 1 or more, so that's very important. You can't discover Life Bloom, the 0 mana to gain 2 mana this turn. But that discovers discover a spell that costs 1 or more. If you play it in this turn, you get to discover another card again. So it's kind of like a battle cry for this turn cry, if that makes more sense. Yeah, play the spell, get a new one. You can combo this. It doesn't say you have to play it next. You do have to play it in the same turn. So if you can cheat out some mana or discount cards to make this a lot easier to kind of pop off, it'd be a lot cooler. But most people will do this, discover a spell, play maybe 1 spell, 2. If you can get 2 spells off of this, that's value, right? 3 mana 3/3 is already good. 1 spell is the first value. 2 spell is kind of like the dream. At any point in this game, if you can do that, you're sitting pretty. If you can do more than 2, you are definitely hitting that value cap. If you're doing like, play this, you get a lightning bolt, you got 5 mana, you get a lightning bolt, you get another lightning bolt, you Life Bloom, you get more, like, that's what you're kind of looking to do with Instructor Fireheart. So kind of an interesting choice. I don't think it's going to see play in every single Shaman deck, but I definitely see it definitely doing some really cool stuff, because that's a pretty unique effect. It's a Hail Mary card, so if you're way behind, you can try to get something good, maybe try to sneak an Earthquake off of this, Lightning Storm, stuff like that. Or if you're ahead, you're looking for any of the buffs, any like Unstable Evolution, you're looking for the bolts, the Lava Burst, stuff like that. So, but that's it for right now. I think they're up to 61 cards, and then they did show some more today, but they're not on the list yet. Like Tice did the legendary Mage, where you discover. We'll go all over that later, but that's it for right now. So thank you for being patient. Like I said, this one's gonna be a little longer because we did go from like 30 some to 60 or 40 some to 61 cards. So that's that. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the cards that they showed, if you're more excited for these ones versus the next ones, if you want to see some more Spellburst cards, which I know I am personally looking forward to those, or if you really love the idea of the soul fragments, drop it in the comments. And of course, give us a like, give us a subscribe so you can be notified when more of my videos come out, and so that you can get the rest of the card reveals in one nice, easy to find location. But that is that. So like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and then of course I will see you in the tavern.